In this edition of Southern Newsweek, whale songs are used in a pop-up art exhibition. Preparations are made for Oamaru's biennial stone symposium. And Invercargill pupils excel at table tennis. Hello, I'm Melissa Barton. A new interactive exhibition using Wi-Fi enabled umbrellas popped up in Dunedin last week. The project was the latest from the Dunedin Urban Dream Brokerage. Roselle Labone took shelter under an umbrella to find out more.
These purpose-built umbrellas mean the sound of electronic whale song will soon be filling the streets of Dunedin. I'm Roselle Labone. A new exhibition is looking at the negative effect of sound pollution on marine mammals. These specifically designed umbrellas are a reminder the marine life we don't see all around us is at risk. Sounding investigates how noise pollution impacts on the marine environment off Dunedin's coastline, in particular looking at the negative effect on marine mammals. The project is the brainchild of Caro McCaw and artist Vicky Smith.
We don't know anyone who's done this before. It's the beginning of a new kind of relationship between things and the internet.
Using MQTT, which is a protocol, we could track information about the umbrella, so we could set up a dashboard that would show what the umbrellas were doing.
McCaw says sound pollution has been linked with stranding, bleeding ears and brain hemorrhage in whales in extreme cases.
This year, Otago was opened up as an area to be explored for minerals and oil, and they make this incredibly loud sound that really interferes with our oceans and whales.
The circuits in the umbrellas mean they emit whale sounds when in Wi-Fi oceans set up across the city, and the umbrellas can communicate with each other. The public has the chance to make their own umbrella in a series of workshops and can visit the exhibition until October 15. Roselle Labone, The South Today.
Caroline Bay's merry-go-round horses are being prepared for a new lick of paint in time for summer. The South Today spoke to one of the hard-working volunteers on the job.
Alan Martin and his partner, plus a few other volunteers, have spent many hours stripping back what in some cases has been 5 or 6 layers of paint from these wee ponies.
That's the goal, yeah, to take as much paint off as we can. It's been a big task. The first horse, we only about 30 hours of clearing paint off, and we're still a wee bit on it, but we've got the main sort of colours that are showing through off, and it's a big job. There's no easy way that we've found so far to do it. So.
The new colouring scheme is inspired by entries from a recent children's art competition. The plan is to have these ponies and their carousel repainted and in action at Caroline Bay this summer. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Oamaru's Stone Symposium is in full swing until the end of next week. The South Today went and had a look at the preparations for the biennial event.
This is the 11th time that stone carvers are gathering in Oamaru to use saws, chisels and grinders to create sculptures out of the local limestone. About 20 tonnes of Oamaru stone will be carved over the next 2 weeks. Site manager Matt King said that stone carving was no easy activity.
I mean, we're not here to make millions of dollars. It's just to showcase the skills, and it's we have a bit of fun along the way. It's because if you're not crying, you're laughing, or the other way around. It's because it can get pretty hard. Yakka, you've only got 2 weeks to chew through a 3-ton block. Right on. So,
But Dunedin sculptor Chris McLanican said that everyone pitches in to give advice and help.
We all help each other, we all have input on each other's work. Somebody will ask you to come and have a look and see what you think about the way they're going with it, things like that, Really enjoy that.
This year's celebration of sculpturing stone is being held in Oamaru's Friendly Bay and timed to coincide with the inaugural Waitaki Arts Festival. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Prostate cancer kills over 600 New Zealand men every year. Every day in New Zealand, 8 men are diagnosed with prostate cancer. That's 1 person every 3 hours. For the past 7 years, the Placemakers chain has supported the Blue September awareness campaign, with staff dressing up and selling blue foods. Daryl Baser discussed prostate awareness and sampled a blue sausage.
Rolling up to try a blue sausage and raising awareness of prostate cancer. In the drive-through shed at Placemakers Dunedin site, staff and the owner-operator Justin McCready are selling blue sausages made by Lecky's Butchery. McCready believes by doing this, they're encouraging men who are 40 years and older to at least think about their prostate health.
The disease claims around 600 Kiwi men's lives every year, which is a big number, a big killer of Kiwi men. And so the reason we got involved as a brand, Placemakers, the demographic of people affected fits pretty well with our customer base, being a lot of males in the trades, in the building and carpentry trades over the age of 40. So we've worked really hard to raise money, but more importantly to raise awareness and encourage our customer base to get tested and get health checks.
Research has found prostate cancer kills nearly as many people as breast cancer. Like many others, Justin McCready has a personal connection with the disease.
Well, I lost my father to cancer coming up 9 years ago. Not to prostate cancer, but another form of cancer. So it's really when that happens to you. So I've got a personal part to that as well. And we've had a number of staff members here and customers that have fought cancer, and not all of them successfully.
Along with a silent auction featuring many items signed by famous sporting people and blue cupcakes baked by workers using donated ingredients, there were the blue sausages, which needed to be sampled. Daryl Baser here for the South Today at Placemakers in Dunedin with Justin McCready, where it's Prostate Awareness Month, being Blue September, and to raise funds and awareness, the staff are doing a sausage sizzle selling blue sausages. So, how do they taste? Let's find out. They taste just like any other sausage, and I so shouldn't be talking with my mouth full. Over the past 7 years, Justin McCready estimates they've raised around $1 million towards prostate cancer awareness and research. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
The Southland Year 7 and 8 Table Tennis School Championships were held in Invercargill last week. 16 teams from 4 Southland schools entered the championships. Sharon Rees had her eye on the ball.
The best of the girls players took on the best of the boys at James Huggis College today. But unlike yesterday, it was just for a bit of fun. The 2 teams of Caitlin Hartley and Ella Sutherland and Ingemar Seagren and Danny Richardson were the overall champs at yesterday's Table Tennis School Championships, and they say it was a fairly easy task to achieve.
We versed 3 other girls' teams, 2 were from Huggis and 1 was from Menzies, and we had a round robin then a final. We won all our games, all of them, even the final and that.
Not that difficult, because most of the players haven't played before, but because I've played in South Island Championships and everything, so it was pretty easy for me.
The pupils said they'd each been playing table tennis for some time, but there were 2 main reasons they loved the sport.
Oh, just beating people.
Yeah?
When somebody does a high shot and you just smack it on the table, it's really nice.
I like the winning and I quite like smashing and that.
Pupils from James Huggis College, Southland Boys High School, Verdon College and Menzies College were all involved in the event. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Coming up after the break, exotic cars and planes draw huge crowds in Alexandra, and a team of hard-working volunteers spruce up a Dunedin walkway. Welcome back. Crowds turned out to enjoy the first Wings and Wheels show being held in Alexandra last weekend. Unfortunately, not all the planes intended to be part of the show could make it. The South Today was there.
Despite strong winds and the national jet fuel shortage hindering the arrival of many aircraft, The inaugural Alexandra Wings and Wheels display went ahead on schedule on Sunday. 6,500 spectators came along to see the hundreds of exotic cars and private aircraft at the Alexandra Aerodrome. Central Otago Flying Club President Gary Wilson says quite a few aircraft had been turned back because of the weather.
It's held out compared to what the forecast was. It's actually held out really good. It's just starting to blow a wee bit now, but it was forecast to blow a lot earlier. We've had quite a few aircraft turned back due to the weather, but that's flying. That's the way it is.
From the smallest custom-made go-karts to Ferraris and million-dollar warbirds, the show had it all for car fans and aviation enthusiasts. Aerial highlights included a flying display by a World War II Mustang fighter and a Delphin jet trainer. Exotic sports cars including Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Aston Martins, plus colourful customs and hot rods filled the wish list of petrolheads. Organiser Hunter Clark says attendances had been very good.
It's been an awful lot of hard work by quite a small committee, but we've all dug in, got it done, and the proof of it makes us smile when we look around here today.
Organisers are hoping for an even bigger show next year. John Cosgrove, The South Today.
The Graeme Aquatic Centre is undergoing major structural repairs and is expected to be closed to the public for 3 months. Structural work is being carried out on the complex roof after the building's large roof began sagging. Paul McBride has the story.
Contractors began work on the 8-year-old complex last month to replace the steel beams at an estimated cost of $900,000. The work involved is a major undertaking, according to CYB site manager Tony Mesman.
It's a big job. There's no actual time frame on it at this stage because we're not quite sure about how much work has to be done to get this problem over with. We're actually propping up the existing timbers that are bowed down and putting new ones in each side of what's there now. We'll be cutting out most of the sections of the existing beams, some more steel work and stuff like that, props underneath, plates, fish plates on the purlins. Yeah, so just a general tidy up with everything really.
Westland Recreation Centre manager Nelia Hairsink says she regrets the inconvenience, but safety is a priority.
So we have large disruptions, as you can see. But we are also trying to accommodate our community as quickly as possible and to get back on track so that they can enjoy a very safe and a brand new environment.
With the school holidays due to start early next month, the closure of the Graeme Aquatic Centre couldn't have come at a worse time. Paul McBride for The South Today.
The Lighting Process is a UK-based organisation funded by Phil Parker, who developed his experiences into a philosophy for success. At 21, Parker was an osteopath and keen guitar player before severing nerves, veins and tendons in his left hand. Many people told him he'd never recover, but he didn't listen.
Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to recover pathways following trauma. It's a field of research close to the heart of Phil Parker from the Lightning Institute.
So it could go one of two ways. It could go up, say, to happiness, or down to pain. If you keep on triggering the pathway to pain because you experience pain, then what happens is that nerve actually moves closer and the one to happiness or relaxation moves further away. And so as a result, the spark has a smaller gap to jump across. And that's neuroplasticity. The more we use particular pathways of our brain, the stronger they become.
Parker lost the use of his left hand following an accident, which he describes graphically when he visited The South Today recently.
I was pushing a caravan with some friends and it got stuck, and so we were kind of bumping it from backwards and forwards, and I was at the back and they were at the front, and I pushed on a glass. My hand went through the glass, but they didn't realise, so they kept on rocking it backwards and forwards. So that's how I severed it.
A handful of experts told him he'd never be an osteopath, let alone play the guitar again. However, he didn't take no for an answer.
I kept on asking. Eventually I found a physio who said, yeah, I think you'll recover, and I decided to agree with her and discard all the other medical opinions, and I did recover well enough. Eventually, you know, I wrote albums, toured, played with Eric Clapton, did all sorts of stuff.
It was once thought the human brain and central nervous system couldn't recover from severed connections. However, Parker is living proof of mind over matter, and by rights he shouldn't be able to do this. However, after spending 6 months looking at an immobile hand and willing it to move, there was finally movement. These days, he shares the lightening process with people across the globe. And in his native UK this week, studies have found it's improving the health and reducing symptoms for children battling chronic fatigue syndrome. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Last week, a group of enthusiastic staff from Bunnings Warehouse, as well as other volunteers, helped make a Dunedin walkway more beautiful. The South Today went for a look at the hard work in progress.
This beautification project near the Andersons Bay Road roundabout was initiated by Bunnings Warehouse staff, who approached the Dunedin City Council looking for a place to beautify. Bunnings provided not only staff time, but also all the plants, compost, mulch and tools to make the project happen. Catherine Hosted of the DCC helped coordinate the project and enlisted extra volunteers.
We had incredible help from Task Force Green. Those guys are an amazing group of volunteers from the council. We were going to have about 5 to 10 and we ended up having 18 keen beans come out here and blast through and dig all the holes in this really difficult ground here. So without them we would have probably been here for a lot later on today.
Hosted has made a point of choosing local native species from the range of plants that Bunnings have on offer.
We always try with our plantings to have a strong mix of native plants that are from the region. So we've got Korwhai, we've got Sephora microphylla, we've got coastal hebe, we've got Libertia, which is a native iris.
Hosted says anyone interested in volunteering their time and ideas on improving Dunedin's environment can visit the Keep Dunedin Beautiful page on the council's website. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Dunedin got a bit colourful this last weekend for the third night and day Rainbow Confectionery Run. Participants celebrated the first days of spring by pelting each other with coloured powder. The South Today joined in on the fun.
A record number of more than 2,000 people turned up at this year's Rainbow Confectionery Run, proving all's fair in love and paint warfare. Based on the Indian Holi festival, Sport Otago's Rainbow Run involves participants wearing white and black t-shirts and running or walking through 5 colour stations at Logan Park. The powder is non-toxic and washes off easily, so runners and walkers have a refresher at intervals throughout the course. The event is a fundraiser for Sporting Chance, a Sport Otago initiative providing equipment and financial assistance to disadvantaged children. Similar events are held around the world in cities such as Paris and Vancouver. This year, for the first time, events are also planned for Alexandra and Balclutha. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Coming up after the break, Invercargill enjoys an icy celebration of spring, and a Dunedin motorist has a lucky escape after colliding with a house. Welcome back. Invercargill's Spring Festival last weekend opened with a winter-style event. A temporary ice rink was set up in the city and the public got the chance to try it out for the first time last Friday night. Sharon Rees was there.
First, the professionals took to the ice with Ice Sports Southland's Isabel Guys and Duchesne Duplessis showing the crowd how it's done. Then eager amateurs were told to gear up for their first skate. Around 100 people did so, celebrating the first night of the Spring Festival. While some showed a natural ability on the ice, others had a bit of a shaky start. But it wasn't long before most skaters found their feet and were moving freely about the ice. Venture Southland Major Events Coordinator Claire Blau said the opening night was a huge success and she was pleased to see so many happy faces enjoying themselves. The Spring Festival at Gala Street Reserve is open every day until the 15th of October. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
A Frankton resident says helicopters are causing noise pollution when they take low-altitude shortcuts over houses. Keith Syme raised his concerns at a public meeting with the Queenstown Airport Corporation on Monday. Mina Amso reports.
This is our little bit of paradise here.
Frankton resident Keith Syme loves the tranquility of his garden, but he says the peace is often spoiled by low-flying helicopters.
It gets shattered by the helicopters, which is a shame really.
Keith says not every helicopter flies directly over Frankton, and most of those who do fly at a high altitude, so not to cause a lot of noise.
One particular company who persists in coming over our housing area and at a lower altitude and making a lot more noise.
He thought there was an agreement where helicopter operators flew a certain path, avoiding Frankton, in order to gain altitude.
Go up around Grant's Tree, but then when I approached this particular company, they informed me, oh no, it's the BP station. Well, the BP station, it wouldn't be too bad, but they don't, they cut short.
He says operators taking a shortcut and flying at low altitudes ruined moments when he just wanted to enjoy life. He says it may get better if Queenstown Airport Corporation moves helicopter operations to the east and further away.
I think it will definitely help.
He says there are apparently no rules when it comes to where helicopters can fly once they hit the air.
So peaceful and lovely.
He says he's not the only resident to complain, and the noise problem would be solved if all helicopters steered clear of Frankton. Mina Amso, The South Today.
A car crashed into the side of a house near the overbridge at Dunedin's Upper Kaikorai Valley in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Roselle Lebone was on the scene.
A car is left wedged between a house and a bank after it careens off the road. These images show the damage that could have been caused when the truck hit the side of the house at around 4:40 a.m. today. I'm Roselle Lebone. I'm here at Upper Kaikorai, where a man is lucky to be alive after he crashed his Nissan Terrano into the wall of this rental home at 420 Stewart Street. Police say there has been minimal damage to the interior of the house. The truck's impact broke off part of the guttering and caused some cracks in the facade of the brick house. It hit Mel Storinger's kitchen while he was asleep at the other side of the house.
A coffee cup got shot out of the kitchen cupboard onto the floor, so that broke into pieces.
Storinger says he was awakened by what he thought was an earthquake and the sound of a man's voice.
Yeah, he basically said, "I'm really sorry, I just drove my car into your house." And so I looked outside and turned my head and yeah, there it was.
Storinger says the man, who was able to exit the vehicle and walked away unscathed, did not appear to be intoxicated.
I don't know how he got out.
He's not badly hurt?
No, not at all. He did not have any injuries or anything, luckily.
A police spokesperson told Allied Press the SUV, which was proving difficult to move, would be taken away by the end of the day. Roselle Lebone, The South Today.
Last Monday saw Ashburton residents enjoy the town's 40th annual Boulevard Day, a day where Ashburton's main street is closed for shoppers to wander amongst the many stalls. The South Today took a stroll down the boulevard.
Thousands enjoyed the lovely spring sunshine and strolled along Ashburton's main street, taking in the huge range of stalls on offer. The Ashburton District Council was there to launch their It's Our Place survey to see what locals want over the next 10 years.
We are running a project called Our Place, which is about finding out what Ashburton residents want for the future of our district. To find the survey, you can go to itsourplace.com, fill in the form. It's a quick 5-minute question about what you think we should have for the future of our district.
For many people there, Boulevard Day was their day off, as it coincided with South Canterbury Day in neighbouring Timaru. Thus, many in the crowd had travelled up from Timaru for a fun day of food and shopping. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
That's all from us this week. You can go online and check us out on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, or you can keep up with Southern News via our website, channel39.co.nz. I'm Melissa Barton and thanks for watching.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.